Hey guys, Shane here with etrailer.com. Today I have a 2019 Mercedes GLC 300 and I want to walk you through how to install the CURT Class 3 trailer hitch receiver. First thing we're going to notice with this hitch installed is that the cross tube is completely hidden. The only thing we can really see is our receiver tube. And we want something when we buy a Mercedes that's going to maintain a nice clean look on the vehicle. This hitch is going to be a steel construction, black powder coat finish, so it's really going to stay looking nice for a very long time, hold up really well against rust and corrosion. We're going to have a 2" by 2" receiver tube opening. You can see we have a reinforced collar to give us a little extra stability there. Hitch pin hole is going to be 5/8 inch in diameter. It's going to take a standard 5/8 hitch pin. The hitch pin and clip does not come with this hitch, however they can be found here at etrailer.com. We're going to have rolled steel safety chain loops. You can see very large openings to accommodate different size safety chain hooks. You see we have plenty of room. With this hitch having a 2" by 2" receiver tube opening, we're going to have a lot of different options for hitch mounted accessories like bike racks, cargo carriers, and even ball mounts. What's great about it is putting a cargo carrier on here, say we want to get some stuff from the inside and make more room for our passengers, or maybe we don't want to load our bikes inside the vehicle or on top. It's going to make it a lot easier to do it back here. Let's give you a few measurements and a few weight ratings to help you when deciding on any of those accessories. We're going to have a 900-pound max tongue weight, which is the downward pressure on the inside of the receiver tube. We're going to have a 6,000-pound gross trailer weight, which is going to be the trailer plus the load included. You want to make sure you check the owner's manual to make sure the vehicle can withstand that amount of weight. You're going to go with the lowest number between the vehicle and the hitch. Now, as far as our measurements go, from the top inside of the receiver tube down to the ground is going to be about 12 inches. From the center of our hitch pin hole to the outermost part of our fascia is going to be about 6 inches. That number is important for any of your hitch mount accessories that may fold up against your vehicle. You want to make sure they're not going to make contact. As far as the installation process, it's pretty simple and straightforward. You are going to have to remove this lower part of the fascia and your bumper beam, but there's not going to be any drilling required. And it may require a little bit of trimming on your heat shield, but again, very simple, straightforward. It can be done in your garage while the vehicle's on the ground. Now that we've gone over some of the features, let's walk you through how to get it installed. To start our installation, we need to remove our exhaust tips. We're going to take a T40 Torx bit. We're going to have a bolt on each side on the bottom. Once you get the bolts off, you're going to push back. You're going to see a little tab here. There's going to be another one on this side. We're going to make sure we're pulling this out very carefully so we don't damage anything. And then we'll set these aside. We're going to repeat that on both sides of the vehicle. We'll take a 10mm socket. We're going to have 2 bolts on the bottom side. Remove those. We're going to have 2 across the center, kind of in between your heat shield and the fascia. Remove those. And then you're going to have the same 2 on the opposite side of the vehicle on the bottom you need to remove. Take a trim panel tool or screwdriver. We're going to remove the push pin fastener here, and then we're going to have a couple up on the inside of the wheel well liner that we need to remove. We're going to pry out the center. And then the base. We're going to have one here towards the bottom. And then make sure you pull the base out. And we're going to take this piece right here and we're going to pop it out. And we're going to have a fastener right here. Same type of push pin fastener, pry the center out, and then the base. Next thing we need to do is lower our exhaust. You're going to have a rubber isolator on one side, and one on the other, and then one in the center in front of the axle. Maybe take some soapy water, spray it on the ends. It'll help them slide off a little bit better. You can just take a pry bar and push that off the end. Your cycle, we need to remove all the screws or nuts holding on our heat shield and then remove our heat shield. get all your bolts removed. You remove our heat shield, set it aside for now. Then we're going to have a push pin fastener right where your trim piece meets your lower fascia, right on the inside. Pull your wheel well liner in, and it's going to be right here. You're going to have one on each side. Use the same method, trim panel tool or a flathead screwdriver, pry the center up, and then get the base out. Next thing we're going to do, we're going to start removing this lower piece here. There's little clips inside. What we're going to do is you're going to reach up there and you're going to push down on the center to undo it. There is a black plastic piece here, and this is on each side. This piece here, you're going to have one of those back behind it, right up there. And again, all you're doing, you're going to push down on the center part of it and push the panel out. You're just going to work your way across. One thing I will say is you're going to have some wiring that is connected on these, or on this panel. So don't just, once you get this loose, don't just take it and pull it off. If you can always find the wire that's attached to it and kind of pop it loose. What I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of pull it off first and then do it from up top, because I can't see in there. It's making it a little bit difficult. I'll just work my way across and get these unclipped, and then we can move to undoing our wiring. So this wire right here, you can kind of see how it runs across. We just want to take and pop that off. And then these two here, we'll take a trim panel tool and we'll just pop those out and then reinstall them later on. Now we need to start removing our bumper beam. We're going to have two nuts on each side. Take an 18mm socket. We're going to have one on the top, and then if we come down on the bottom, we're going to have one on the back side. We need to remove both of those on each side of the vehicle. What you might find is that you're not going to be able to just pull this off. There's actually sealant on the back side from the hitch or from the bumper beam to the body. You take your pry bar and kind of get it in between there. Kind of get it to start working loose. Once you get it loose, you can remove it. Again, you're going to have some sealant on there. It kind of helps keep this in place. Next, we're going to trim out our heat shield. If you notice how I have it sitting, this is the way I took it out. This is going to be the very back side. Find center. This one actually has a hole in it. This will be the center of it. So once you find center, you want to go 1.5 inches on each side. And we're going to go 2 inches up. We're going to be cutting everything off below. We can always trim a little bit more later on if we need to. I'm just going to use aviation shears to cut it. Then your instructions are going to tell you to put your hitch and bumper beam back in place and then reinstall your heat shield. It'd probably be easier to put your heat shield in first before you get those in place because you're going to have a little bit more room. We'll set our hitch into place and see if we need to make any trimming adjustments to our heat shield. Looks like I may need to cut it just a little bit wider. That way we don't have any rattling for a heat shield against the edge of this. So I'm going to come just a little bit wider here, and then we should be good enough on the height. And we can reinstall our bumper beam over the top of our hitch, and then reinstall our hardware. Once we get our hardware put back in place on our bumper beam, we're going to tighten and then torque all of our hardware with an 18mm socket. We're going to make sure you're torquing to the specifications in the instructions. Once you get your heat shield put back up, you get everything torqued to the specification of the instructions, go ahead and reinstall your exhaust. And then you can reinstall your rear fascia. And you want to make sure that your wiring, you tuck it back into those clips so it stays held in place. And then you can just work your way around. Make sure you get your clips pushed back in so it holds this rear lower fascia piece on. Then we can reinstall our hardware in reverse order from the way we took it off. Once you get your fascia put back in place, go ahead and reinstall your exhaust tips, and you're ready to go. That's going to do it for a look at an installation on the CURT Class 3 Trailer Hitch Receiver on your 2019 Mercedes GLC 300.